CarolinaPrepper.com. If you're looking for quality food storage for hiking, fishing, hunting, basic survival needs, or just for everyday use, check out our food storage line at CarolinaPrepper.com. We also carry other fine quality products, such as our can concealment holsters for men and women. Keeping your firearm under cover and within reach puts confidence in your hands in any situation. Our products are 100% American made. Check us out today at CarolinaPrepper.com.
And now, it's time.
How is everybody? It is Monday again. I can tell because Facebook doesn't want to let me on. Hey, Shannon, how are you? Hi, Brian. Good morning, Jerry. Rhonda, hello. Tisa, how are you? Hey, Hugh. Very good morning to you. Thank you, Marianne. I appreciate the prayers. Susie, how are you? Pat. Hello, hello. Thank you for the super hearts. Good way to start the Monday off. Shannon, good morning. God bless you and everyone. Daniel, hello. How are you? Glad to see everybody. Shauna, how are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Harold, good to see you too. Thank you for sharing everybody with all of your followers and just on Twitter in general. Thank you for retweeting. I'm going to go ahead and start with Psalm 24. Hey, Jules. Good to see you. And while I'm doing that, if you could just invite people in, that would be great. The earth is the Lord's and all its fullness, the world and those who dwell therein. For he has founded it upon the seas and established it upon the waters. Who may ascend into the hill of the Lord, or who may stand in his holy place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart. He who has not lifted up his soul to an idol, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive blessings from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is Jacob, the generation of those who seek him, who seek your face. Lift up your heads, O you gates, and be lifted up, you everlasting doors. And the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O you gates. Lift up, you everlasting doors. And the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of glory. Amen and amen. Good morning, Dawn. Good to see you. Morning, Dixie. Hello. Dawn, good to see you as well. How is everybody on this Monday? Crazy Monday to start with, I should say, with the New York City terrorist attack. That this time we're actually calling it what it is, a terrorist attack. Jesus is the King of glory for sure. Shauna, lift up your hands. Absolutely. Hey, Rob, good to see you over there. Hey, Carmen, good to see you. We were lucky. Yeah. What did Trump say? If Doug Jones wins, his agenda will be stopped. How can one man do that? John, what he's saying is don't put more Democrats in. That's what he's saying. Hey, Lori, good to see you. Well, thank you for coming in and saying hi. Hope you come back tomorrow. We're here every day at this time. Every weekday, that is. They say possible terrorist attack. It was a terrorist attack. Yeah, no kidding. 27-year-old from Bangladesh, been in the United States, I believe, for about 8 years. Yula Akayed, can't even pronounce that. Hey, Barbara, good morning. Teresa, hello. How are you? Lori, good to see you. Low-tech device. I saw some pictures of him laying down on the sidewalk where it blew up on him. I know Fox is reporting that Moore is down. I don't believe that. He was up the other day, so I just think they're saying that. Hey, Robin. You know, it's really bad if you think that maybe Fox has gone over the deep end. Hey, Jules. So let's, Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Mills, how are you? Yeah, I won't believe it until, it's over. Tomorrow is the actual election, and I think, as it was with President Trump. Hey, Millennial, made it to work in New York City today. Well, be careful. I'm not believing necessarily that everything is over and done with, but hopefully it is. Just stay safe. The only poll I believe is the one I take myself. I know, Shauna. They did this with President Trump. You meant the terrorist is an idiot. Absolutely. Love your article on Brown's comment on 60 Minutes. You covered it better than him. Thank you, Catherine. Oh, Jerry Brown. Don't get me started. I'll talk about him in a minute because it kind of ties in with this New York terrorist bomber. 8 years old from Bangladesh. Bomb was on his person, went off prematurely. There's a recon guy. Yeah, I'm Pat. I think this guy wasn't smart enough to be the guy that they would normally send out and do all the real heavy stuff. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Hey, Max, good to see you. You think Trump is coming to California? I don't think so. No reason to. I mean, maybe up in Ventura and Santa Barbara afterwards, but you know, people in California, thank you, Shauna. People in California kind of take care of their own, except for like Jerry Brown, who kind of talks out in another area sometimes rather than what's on his face. I'll just leave it at that. Are the fires near me? Marianne, the fires that were near me they're 75% contained right now. So thank God. The winds have died down. They picked up a little bit on Sunday, but that didn't cause anybody to, have to evacuate or anything else. And they had worked so much on it. Should Trump go? Probably in the areas of Ventura. I would say in LA, maybe he should go because there's been a lot of damage. Hey, Cully. Got to get on this meeting call. Hopefully it will be over and I'll be back. Oh, hope so too, Shannon. No problem, though. Did he self-detonate? Yeah, I don't know. Dixie, I think he probably self-detonated. I think it just probably went off prematurely. I'm surprised. They said it caused lacerations and all that. I don't know if he lost any limbs. I'm surprised if he didn't lose fingers or an arm or something, but they didn't say that. So I'm guessing not. But yeah, that guy I don't think was the guy. I think he wasn't smart enough to be the guy. He maybe just said, somebody else said recon. I wonder where he was going. I think he was going, don't you think, to the subway? I heard burns too, Dixie, but I also heard lacerations. You heard he had a second device? I didn't hear that. Hey, Marlene, good to see you. There's a photo out there. He got badly burned, torso, arms area. I saw the photo, Robin. It was bad. Ugh. I mean, that's what you get for doing stuff like that. I hate to say that, but, that's what you get for doing stuff like that. If he had any damage, they would have been questioning him in a car afterwards. Been praying for you all in California. My family's in San Diego, the OC, and Sacramento. Orange County's fine. Sacramento's fine as far as I know. San Diego's fine now. Yeah, I know. Cully, going to talk about that in a second. Thank the Lord no one was killed. I think one person was killed in the Lilac fire, I believe. Or was it? No, I think it was the Ventura fire that kind of started at the very beginning. Hello, Gordon. Coming up to the city was crazy. 8th Avenue was shut down from Penn Station to Times Square. I can't imagine. On that fire, that Lilac fire, the final estimation of the horses that were killed were 46. We also had an incredibly weird thing happen in San Diego. A plane went down, crashed into a house near a friend of mine, actually. There were people who were living in the house, but they weren't home at the time. 2 dogs were home at the time. They were killed. And 4 people on the plane, 2 were killed and 2 were injured. I know, Robin. It's been crazy. Absolutely crazy around here. Yeah, the horses, there's also, please pray. Hey, Lisa, please pray for the trainer. There was a female trainer who tried, hey, Rhonda, who tried to rescue horses, and she's burned over about 50% of her body, is what I understand. She's in a coma. We're in San Diego. No, nothing in El Cajon, Susie. Hey, Ann, good to see you. So please pray for her. I totally understand what she was trying to do. You got spanked by Scope? How's that, Rhonda? Somebody said you abused something or whatever? Now, how about Brant? Now, I think that's fine, Freebird. Mostly it's Ventura right now. It went from Ventura into Santa Barbara. The fires are getting less, John, because the winds have died down. So, unless you get some... again, we don't know what caused the fires here. Oh, I see. Rhonda, that's so crazy. I don't know who's doing that. Some troll, I guess. We don't know what caused the fire here. Hey, Barb. But Jerry Brown seems to know all about what caused the fires. So, yes, we speak peace, be still to the winds. Absolutely, Ruthie. When those winds start going, it's crazy. Ellen's house in the line of fire. Yeah, I think the movie stars' homes are all safe now. Everything's kind of moved on a little bit, but you never know. I don't think it's completely out up in L.A., and I know it's not up in Santa Barbara. You turned off moderation, not you, Dixie said. Um, Never let a good crisis go to waste. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about Jerry Brown right now, and then we'll go back a little bit to the NYC terrorist attack. Jerry Brown came out yesterday. He was also on 60 Minutes. Of course, what he's doing, he's blaming climate change. He's, in a roundabout way, he's really blaming Trump because he's saying that, this is what he said about last week. He said, I don't think President Trump has a fear of the Lord, the fear of the wrath of God, which leads one to more humility. This is such a reckless disregard for the truth and for the existential consequences that can be unleashed. Okay, Jerry, Jerry takes every opportunity he can to talk about his God, which is climate change. And he went in that, hey, Rhonda, hey, Jack, in that press conference that he had, Jerry is speaking goofy. He was kind of acting like a little boy. I was watching him. That is his opinion, yeah. I was watching him, and he was just acting a little strange. Well, strangely more than usual. Yeah, and Jerry does have the fear of the Lord. Jerry, being the pro-abortion activist that he is, he said that it was all due to carbon pollution and the atmosphere absorbing heat-trapping gases. And he's saying that's what caused the fires in Los Angeles, Ventura, San Diego, and Santa Barbara. Well, I have to say that's really weird because, see, nobody's figured out yet what caused the fires because, unlike Jerry, the firefighters have been too busy out there trying to stop the fires. And so, just got completely blocked from you on Scope, Twitter. Did you block? No, Rhonda, I did not. Yeah, what they can do, Rhonda, is they can block you for, a couple of minutes, and then you get to come back. I don't know who did that. Again, we trolls can do that. Acknowledging that Jerusalem is the capital for the Jews is proof that he has fear of the Lord. Absolutely, Daniel. Yeah, Jerry Brown, he doesn't have any room to talk. But usually what happens in California when they have the Santa Ana winds, they announce it on TV. They tell everybody how dangerous it is. The humidity goes down really low. The winds go up really high. And a lot of times, not saying all the time, we have people who go out and start fires because they know it's the perfect condition to do that. Also, we have down power lines that have caused fires. That's what caused the fire here, the big one that we had in 2007. So Jerry shouldn't be talking, but he is. And one of the things he's talked about is that he wants to manage the forests better. And so what that means is, in California speak, that means is we're going to take more of the forest away from you. We, government, are going to control that. Your taxes are going to increase. That's what that means. And that's what Jerry means by we're going to manage the forest better. And I'll tell you, he talked last night or on Saturday, whenever the conference was, news conference. He talked more like a transhumanist and a New World Order guy than I've ever heard before. Hey, Kashif, how are you? He said the power here is prophecy. The power here is faith. And that's what this organization is supposed to be about. So let's be about it and combine with technical and the scientific and then political. And what he wants to do, as he said at the Vatican when he went on his little trip last year and every other 5 minutes to Paris Peace Accord and the Vatican City and all that, he wanted everybody to work together. And he said basically the way to do it is, combine everybody together, religions and technical and everything else. I know, Sean. Convinced my husband to leave California. They used to do that, then they stopped. Jerry needs to take over Smokey the Bear's job. Uh, Jerry needs to find someplace to go. I hope that Jerry, because this is his last term, thank you, California, for term limits, I hope he moves to Paris and stays there. The problem is in California, we have a likelihood of getting another person in as governor that's worse than Jerry Brown, Gavin Newsom, if you can believe that. That's who wants to be in next. Hey, Lee, how are you? Got a stall for Bob? Thank you, Shauna. Put a stall for me there. I'll take it. Yeah, Moonbeam 2. Worse than Jerry. I mean, seriously, this guy is as close as communism as you can be and socialism combined. So, Jerry just needs to go away. Now, one thing that Jerry said, he said, thank you, Shauna. He said, this is the new norm for California. This is kind of like what we can expect. And Fox News poll shows 10-point lead for Jones. Yeah, I don't even believe that, but you know, whatever. I think I'm not believing that poll. Worse than Brown, is that possible? Hugh, unfortunately, it is. The guy he's so far left, there's no other place, there's no further left you can go. We have one Republican that I'm hearing zero about, and I don't know if we're going to, Republicans don't do well here. Let's just put it that way. Unless we can get these Democrats out from the sexual harassment, sexual harassment causes. Isn't that the face new normal Obama used? Yes, Rhonda, it is. Anytime you hear a progressive say, this is the new normal, we just need to live with it, this is the way it is, you've heard a progressive. Yeah, John Cox, I believe it is, Catherine. And what happens is that we heard the Obama say the new normal. We've heard Jerry Brown say the new normal. And guess who else we heard to say the new normal? This morning, in a news conference, when they were talking about New York City and terrorism, they said, this is the new normal. Here's what I have to say in response to this. No. There is no new normal. And don't accept that it is. Thank God for President Trump that he came out and said, you know what, we're going to stop all these people from coming in. We're going to vet them. We're going to see who they are. Let's see. The terrorist that was in New York today came to the United States when? 8 years ago. Who was president 8 years ago? Well, that would be Obama now, wouldn't it? And he allowed in so many hundreds of thousands of people each year. No, I did not. I don't think I saw it, Rhonda. De Blasio is the new... Yeah. Of course, it's a new world order. They want to bring everybody together. Calling it a new normal only means illegals causing the fires and stupid Brown won't stop it. Well, here's the thing. In California, we have a lot of people who are homeless people. A lot of them are illegal immigrants who are, they sleep in the woods or the bushes next to the road, things of that nature. They have the immigrant camps, migrant camps. You're not really allowed to go in there and clean those out. The police can sometimes. They typically don't. And they just leave them there. And then we have these fires. Now, again, not saying that's what caused the fires. I don't know, John. I guess he just wanted to go ahead and announce it. One doesn't pertain to the other. And work on the racetracks. They work everywhere. UN already trying to start Agenda 21 and political. That's also a 2030 agenda. So it is happening. And Brown, at the end of the conference, it was really weird. I heard him say, and I'm pretty sure he said it, I'm going to be leaving and going on the Paris Peace Accord, or the Paris Climate Accord. And I don't know what in the world he was talking about and why he was saying that he was going to be leaving. And he said, but don't worry, I'll be back. I don't know what he was talking about. He just says weird stuff. Again, it just kind of weird stuff. He was acting like, here's this serious news conference, and he's sitting there taking pictures of what I don't know. Anyone seen the Pope wants to change the Lord's Prayer? Yes, Lee, we talked about that the other day. He wants to change the line that says, and lead us not into temptation. I just consider the source. Yep, no better time than now, Jules said. Yeah, I mean, so Pope is communist. Well, he certainly is socialist. And he's not trying to hide it. He wants to have the line be, I had it the other day. I said it in my other scope. Something like, something that we shall not be misled or something like that. He thinks that the words sound too close to meaning that God leads us into temptation. And, I mean, it's what they're using in France. So he wants to use the same thing. So let's see. France, socialist pope, Yeah, I know. And who knows if they'll do it or not. O'Reilly said on Beck's show, there is a tape of a Democrat offering $250,000 to a woman to accuse Trump. That wouldn't surprise me. There have been 3 women that have come forward just this morning who are asking Congress to do an investigation into sexual harassment of President Trump. And supposedly there are 8 more waiting in the wings. Yeah, what a dumb pope. I know. What was the real reason Pope Benedict resigned? Not a single resignation in over 700 years. I know that. It's just a weird politic. These tapes never get heard. All a scam. That's not enough money. A radio show of fake accusations. Gloria, their attorney. Probably, Marianne. The left is very desperate. And they'll do the same with Roy Moore if he gets elected. Hey, Chessie, good morning. Yeah, it's hard to say what's going on, why that Pope resigned. I don't know. So I want to give you some news in the Middle East, again, because I think it's really important. If these accusations aren't proven true, these women should be held accountable. I know, Pat. It's getting to be ridiculous. They have to prove their accusations happened, yeah. Same 3 from the elections. Probably Barbara. Let's pray more, Ruthie. Absolutely. Good idea. So Israeli forces on Sunday destroyed a significant cross-border attack tunnel from the Gaza Strip, which the military said was being dug by the enclave's dominant Islamist group, Hamas. Left is desperate, yeah. In San Antonio, can't hear you, but can see you headed to the hospital. Chessie, we pray for you. We pray that all goes well today. Everybody, please pray for Chessie, who's having an operation today. Hey, Kim, good to see you. Politcal. Do you have any liberal views? No, I do not. But now women are allowed to say it happened and they are to always be believed 40 years later. I know, Jules. Times have changed, Well, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Let it loose. It will defend itself. That's good. Israel is no. Dear Jesus, keep and protect Chessie today. Thank you for her prayers for her. Now, the tunnel destroyed on Sunday ran hundreds of meters into Israeli territory, and though unfinished, was a new project that showed a significant effort by Hamas. According to Dems, Bill Clinton is innocent. Yeah, exactly, Brandon. Yeah, don't have to prove. Lefters believe accusations. That's right, Rhonda. They just believe it. You say it, they believe it. Because they want to believe it, unless it's happens to them. Now, in a surprise move, and I'm not really sure what's going on with this, but Russia, Putin came into Syria, kind of a surprise visit over the weekend, and said that he was going to start withdrawing troops that were there to fight ISIS, because he said that basically he destroyed ISIS in 2 years. Now, I'm thinking that maybe he's taking this opportunity to do it because there have been some announcements that have come out that have said that, it's all over. ISIS has been defeated, that type of thing. Yeah, I know. But they think so, freedom fighter. And so he's pulling out of Syria, supposedly. Well, that's good, Steve. And so I think probably what also is happening is there's an election coming up in May for Putin, who's going to run for re-election. And I think he probably wants to kind of, pull out, clear out of there so it looks like everything's going well for Russia, for himself. Well, you're a Palestinian Syrian. Well, that's good. How's everything going in Syria, in your opinion? Thank you, Dixie. Like Barry claiming he turned the economy. I know. He did turn the economy downward. You're in Sweden now? Good. Would have the guts to run against Putin. I know. Shauna, somebody who didn't know the Clintons, right? Didn't know what it meant to run against somebody that didn't want you to run against them. Yeah, rubber stamp. That's right, Barb. Video branders. Syria isn't at all okay. Yeah, I didn't think so, especially Damascus area, freedom fighter. Neither is Palestine. That's true too. Let's see. There will never be true peace in the Middle East. That's true, Brennan. There never will be. Not until God's return. That's for sure. They're talking about we're getting. I listened to a pastor from Calvary Chapel in Hawaii over the weekend, and they're talking about how we're moving closer and closer to the time that the temple is going to be rebuilt. Okay, we don't call the president chump. We'll see you later, though. And so they're talking about if they build that third temple, it's going to be who's going to come. Yes, J.D. Farag. It's going to be Israel, Muslims, and Catholics who go into that third temple. And we have another repeat bot. Been looking at lots of pics of Hillary Younger. Shows her wearing black onyx ring. That's a cult. Well, that's interesting. Ugh. Amber, how are you? Good morning. Will there be animal sacrifices? I hope not. I love this Bible prophecy updates. I know. His Bible prophecy updates are really good. Hillary can buy Hillary fireworks. Good morning. God save the people. Exactly. Heard him as well. JD, love listening to him. He's really good, Dawn. Really, really good. Been looking. I thought I got rid of this repeat bot, and they're back. I hope I didn't block somebody else by accident. I wore a. Uh-oh, Shauna. What's that about the temple? They think they're getting closer and closer to the time of rebuilding that temple. You know, you wonder, I know this, nobody has said this. I'm just wondering, do you think it's possible that the U.S. Embassy, they could start that and somehow turn that into a temple instead? I don't know. Probably not, but just, it came to my mind. What was the big deal about the painting of Hillary? Somebody said that they were looking at at her, and she had a black onyx ring on, and they thought that was from the occult. The bots multiply when blocked. Oh, great. That's all we need. More bots that multiply. Now, a couple things are happening. Oberlin College is being accused of bullying Gibson's Bakery. It's a family-owned business. There were 3 students there who pled guilty to attempting to steal, like, I think it was wine or something like that. And apparently they were black students that came in there. They signed an agreement saying that they weren't being racially discriminated against, that they did try to steal the wine, and that was kind of all that they needed to do. But the bakery now is claiming that the college is slandering them and accusing them of racism. And the students there are continuing to boycott the store, even though those arrested, signed that agreement saying there was no racism. Thank you, Jeff. We really appreciate that. God bless Brazil as well. Cully's birthstone is black onyx. See, Cully, I knew it all along. Good morning, Amanda. Funny bot can come back, but I couldn't. Rhonda, I don't know why. See if you can come back in now. Hey, Lori, good to see you. I don't know why you were totally blocked. That's happened to you before. I'll check afterwards to make sure I didn't block you, but when you left, I hadn't touched anything at that time. Cold enough, yeah. Hey, Spencer, good to see you. Lots of trolls out there. I couldn't launch YouTube till now, Monique said. That's terrible. Monique, sorry about that. Good morning. Thank you, Lori. So glad to be well and be online after all that's been going on. Pray for those people up in Santa Barbara now who are kind of dealing with this, up in Carpinteria and Montecito, which are kind of on the outskirts of Santa Barbara. Like everything is kind of moving that way, and hopefully they can get a handle on it. So far, I think it went from 50,000 acres to 230,000 acres. Good, Rhonda. Glad you're back. Yeah, it's only temporary block, I think, Rhonda, when that happens. For those, God bless America people, I pray for America. Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate your prayers. Monique had the same problem, couldn't get into YouTube. Yeah, it's crazy. If everybody could, if you don't mind, please retweet at this moment and share. We are at the halfway point. Did Hannity move to Santa Barbara? More taxes wasted? Not that I know of, Barbara. Who moved to Florida. We'll continue prayers for all involved. Thank you, Lori. We appreciate that so much. Last I heard, Hannity was in Florida. I think that's where he's at. I don't know why he wouldn't move to California. I mean, my God. He wouldn't be able to do anything in California. I don't think North Korea is going to attack during the Olympics. I think North Korea, a lot of it is a lot of talk. He said he had a house near the fire. That could have been an old house that he had, Barbara, the whole time. He maybe have a house in Malibu or something like that. Jeff says Hillary Clinton is the Antichrist. I don't think so. For those who are believers, we're not going to even know who the Antichrist is. We'll be gone. The church will be gone before the Antichrist is revealed. So if she is, we will never know that. For those who don't watch the NFL, like myself, NFL tickets prices are plummeting. Some as low as $4 a ticket. That's according to Vivid Seats. They are a resale site for NFL tickets. You believe in pre-trib rapture? Yes, I do, Brandon. Buffalo Bills tickets, you can get them for as low as $3 a ticket. And tickets on the 50-yard line center field are $30. Oh, poor billionaires. I know, Marianne. I'm sure they're crying today. And it used to live in Santa Barbara where he worked in California. Susan rightly says, I know. I know. You know, pretty soon, these billionaires and millionaires they're not going to have a job to get any money off of. They're not going to have anywhere to go to make a point about anything. Hey, doctor, how are you? They made their own problems. Yes, tax dollars are used to build their stadiums. I know. Yeah, the Army-Navy game. Quite different. Long live Israel. Yes, shalom. How are you? Tax write-off for billionaires. Probably. Hopefully they won't be on TV either. Yeah, it'll be a tax write-off until they don't have a job and we stop having football altogether. Does it seem like they are doing anything about it, losing all this money from lack of tickets? I don't know, Dawn. They're not doing anything about it. They don't think they have to. Hey, Frankie, good to see you. Yeah, no kneeling during the game. They don't feel that they feel that they can do whatever they want to do. So you're showing them that they can't. Yeah, I really don't. I know why they kneel. I don't find it appropriate to kneel during the game. Hey, Danielle, good to see you. Army-Navy game. Oh, my God, the singer's ears must have been getting frostbitten. I'd love to see the Super Bowl empty. I know, that would be great. Hard-headed leftists. Yeah, they are, Dawn. They just want to keep pushing their agenda, and they can keep pushing their agenda. They have every right to push their agenda. We have every right not to buy their tickets. No, I didn't see the weather yesterday in Buffalo. I don't watch the NFL at all. Didn't see any games there. I'm sure they will do it at the Olympics too. Probably, Amber. Probably. Hey, Nikolai, good to see you. Yeah, I mean, again, keep doing it. If you want to do it, if your bosses say that you can do it, that's fine. Hi, Faith Gorman. Rhonda, are you back over on Facebook? Yeah, so, I again, we're all very much aware of why they do it. It's just that they shouldn't be doing it when they're there to play a game and trying to make a political point. They can do it on their own time, their own dime. We've said that so many times before. Imagine the security at New York's Times Square. I know. Thank you, Jeff. Please come back, and God bless you in Brazil. Now, I don't know if you've heard about this case. Retweet this puppy. Hey, Teresa, how are you? Yeah, it's not the platform to do it. The message gets lost. Are you against Trump? No. Hey, Marlon, how are you? There's a Secret Service whistleblower, Robert McQueen. He settled. He had a 5-year. Hey, Jackie, a 5-year legal battle going on with the Secret Service. He said that basically he had been, as a whistleblower, discriminated against. They had tried to get him on different things, and oh, that's okay, Teresa. You're fine. Cuomo is the rotten apple that didn't fall far from the rotten tree. Correct. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Invited friends, great. Hey, Faith, good to see you. I don't see Faith on Facebook, but on the Facebook Live, but she could be there, and I just can't see her. So anyway, after 5 years, he alleged wrongdoing by his superiors. He got back pay, promotion, lifetime retirement, attorney's fees, compensatory damages, and reinstatement of his security clearance. Yeah, I saw that. They were there to help the guy, the little boy that got bullied. Good morning. Keep getting blocked. That's so weird, Rhonda. It's so weird. So good for the Secret Service guy. Hello from Woodcarver. Where's Woodcarver? Toothy. Hey, Don. Lost me on Facebook. Had to switch. Yeah, Facebook's probably knocking me out. Are Schumer's accusations true? Which ones, Marianne? Did you hear Cuomo is being investigated by the FBI for his hiring practices? That doesn't surprise me. I saw something that like 250,000 people in California, in the California government, haven't been properly fingerprinted. So, that's not good. 250,000, if that story is true. Bill Cosby must be celebrating all these incidents. Did you see all these women coming forward against Trump? Yes, there are 3 so far and about 8 more to go. Oh, really? Huh. That's interesting, Marianne. Which one is Jerry? Which is oh, about Schumer? Yeah. Yeah, 5 years ago. Took 5 years. That's amazing. Schumer's daughter accusing. Yeah, Susie, they say that's a fake site. Let's see. Now, there's news coming out from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. You know, the what I call the Ninth Circus Court of Appeals. Barbara didn't see you. Oh, okay. There's a judge, Alex Kaczynski. Several former clerks and externs for a federal court alleged that Alex Kaczynski, the judge there, made sexually suggestive comments to them. At least 2 former clerks alleged that he asked them to watch pornography in his chambers. Yes. And he said, I would never intentionally do anything to offend anyone, and it is regrettable that a handful have been offended by something that I may have said or done. Yeah, this one is supposed to be legitimate. This came out from the Business Insider. Heidi Bond, a former clerk for Kaczynski from 2006 to 2007, said that she was asked to go in Kaczynski's office on multiple occasions, where she was asked if she was aroused by pornographic images that played on his computer, or if she believed the images were photoshopped, according to a Washington Post report Friday. Bond, who was in her early 30s at the time, said none of the images were related to any of the cases. Her account was confirmed by emails describing the incidents that were sent to a friend in 2008. Kaczynski was appointed in 1985 by President Ronald Reagan, and he said in a statement, I have been a judge for 35 years, and during that time have had over 500 employees in my chambers. I treat all of my employees as family and work very hard with most of them. Emily Murphy, another former clerk on the Ninth Circuit in 2012, alleged in her report that as she was talking with other clerks about a particular gym that wasn't busy, that's GYM, Kaczynski approached her and said that she ought to work out naked if the gym wasn't occupied. So apparently, also, there are a couple more. I've heard up to 7 have come forward and said that he did something that was weird. He was just doing research. There you go. Even if they bring down Trump with allegations, they will have to deal with Mike Pence as president. Yeah, Nikolai, they're not going to bring down Trump with anything. Jacqueline wants to be in my video, so let me see if I can bring Jacqueline on. See if I don't know if it's working, Jacqueline. We'll see. Amazing. You wonder, do these abusers think that these advances are welcome? I think they think that there's nothing wrong with them because they've been doing them so often that they're not getting caught. Nobody's saying anything about it. And so they feel it's not a problem. I think they come from a different date and time, really, that where that used to be allowed. Somebody wants to be on the video. We'll see. These new Trump accusers are hitting this week to take the news cycle away from Trump. I'm worried tax reform will be somehow blocked. Cheer me up. Barb, they're going to try to put so much on it. It's hard to tell fact from fiction. It is, Pat. They're going to try to cram so much in there. Where's the boy missing, Jerry? But I think that, they're going to get the tax reforms through. But in what, I just don't know. I was hearing something, too, the other day that I didn't like from Paul Nealon that was saying that Ryan is going to try to push something through on DACA. And we need to be concerned about that and watching that very closely. And that's not so much on the tax reform, but that's on trying to keep the government open and running. You don't want 22% on your small business? Are you talking about, Barbara, or... Tax reform will have earmarks in it left and right. Yeah, probably. Keaton Jones, a bully video. Yeah, everybody's coming to his rescue. And I think there's a GoFundMe account for Keaton Jones, right? What? I don't know what parents do. Oh, you don't like Paul Nealon since he tweeted eat a bullet to someone. If he resigns, he's guilty. Who is that accent? Or that was probably a bot. The police found the 17-year-old in a hotel room with a GOP senator smoking pot. Yeah, we talked about that last week. Video was hard to watch as a dad. I think one thing that people need to teach their children, and I say this with all sincerity, when somebody is bullying you, they feel worse about themselves, and that's why they're bullying another person. If you felt good about yourself, you would not be bullying anybody. So, you need to tell your kids that person bullying you does not love themselves, hates themselves, like Chelsea Handler. You don't strike out at other people when you feel good about yourself. And that's what I think they need to tell Keaton. Fatherless kids in single-parent homes are destroying America, Brandon said. Exactly. I was bullied all through school. I was the fat kid, Marlene said. Yeah, I mean, basically, if kids are happy and and even adults, how many adults have we seen? Thank you, Veritas. Same to you. Grace and peace to you. That's true, but they didn't help me when I was bullied. Julia, but the thing of it is, I was bullied too in school. I don't know too many people who weren't bullied in school. Mine happened to be from growing up in the racially charged South during the time. So we had a lot of bullying. We don't teach people how to cope with it anymore. It's almost like people give up and give in. And we need not to do that. That's why a lot of these kids are hanging themselves because they're bullied. We need to stop this. Yes, we need to stop the bullying. Absolutely. But we need to teach people how to cope with it as well. Yeah, we need to better intervene for the bullies. We live in a total different generation now. We certainly do. But that's why we need to, if my kid was being bullied at school, I would go to that school and demand that it stop. And if it didn't stop, I would take my kid right out of that school. And that person could be getting bullied at home, too. That's right, Monique. So it's a complicated situation, but we have to teach people better how to handle things. Kids have no social skills because of cell phones. That's true, Brandon. They don't know how to, they don't have coping skills. No, I don't think kids need to blow it off a bit. I think kids need to understand the seriousness of it, but they also need to understand. I think understanding why it's happening will help them, and understand that it's not them that has the problem. It's the person who's bullying that has the problem. And I'm not saying that's going to be the cure for everything. I'm just saying I think it will help. But one thing we need to do, we do need to talk about it. We need to talk with the kids about it. Hey, Bill, I think a lot of times, we don't talk to our kids about it. And I would be in that school, and I would be there every day. Seems to be the start of safe places. No, it shouldn't be about safe spaces. It should be about getting the bully out of the school, for one. And so everybody can go to school and have a safe environment. Not safe place, but a safe environment. Most of the time, bullies are jealous of something. That's right. Too much hurt. They are. Bullies are sometimes abused at home. That's right. We only had one bully in our school. He was so poor, very sad guy. And, Barb, there you go. Being poor like that, if you've ever been raised poor and you understand what that feels like, you could understand why you have such resentment in your heart for others who aren't poor. And, you need to help those people. I mean, it's a sad fact, but, children shouldn't have to be put up with other bullying. Is teasing the same as bullying? I don't think so. I think teasing, can be a very minor thing, but I think the schools look at it as bullying. I was bullied in school and got suspended after standing up for myself and punching one of the girls in the nose, Monique said. And that's what happens in school, Monique, and that's why schools are progressive liberal environments. They really are. He had almost no furniture and no parenting. That's right, Barb. There are a lot of kids that I've seen that raise themselves. Young teenagers raising themselves because their parents aren't there. Could be fine lying, teasing, and bullying. It absolutely could be. But, if you like, kids walk down the hallway and they might say, oh, your shoes are too green or whatever. That right there is kind of more on the teasing end of it. If it continues, it gets worse. If other kids pick up and do it, yeah, then that's bullying. Treat others as you want to be treated. That's right, Dixie. The only meal some kids get is at school. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's very hard to stand up for yourself at school because, again, like what Monique did, if you strike back, then they're going to probably suspend you or expel you too, which to me is not fair. Hey, Lisa, should be able to defend yourself. If it's mean, teasing is not okay. That's right. I just think sometimes that people see teasing and they consider it to be bullying. Some kids can be really horrid. Yep. I beat up the bullies, Dawn said. Yeah, I mean, I think some of these kids, what I see as bullying, what I really consider bullying also, are those kids who on social media go out there and put down other kids for all the classmates to see it. They do something at school to them. They just hone in on them and make fun of them every single day. And trust me, kids think about suicide when that happens to them. And that's not okay. And kids have committed suicide because of it. Just think our generation put up with it, and most of us are fine. Yeah, I mean, hey, Lisa, we did, is it home or Ford? I'll just say Ford. I think we did. We had to put up with it. We had to just deal with it. Suspending the bullies does not help them. They need intervention. Brandon, I think getting those bullies out of the school and into thank you, Holly, and into some kind of counseling is what's needed. I don't think everybody in the school needs to have to put up with the bullying. The rest of the kids need to be able to come in an environment that's safe, and then once the child is, seeing a therapist or whatever, then they can come back. Sorry if I bullied you 45 years ago. I know, Wayne. I was going to talk to you about that. Got suspended, but the principal said he did the right thing. Right, Lisa? This happened to my disabled son, and it's horrible, Lisa. If you're a peacemaker, you never fight back. Daniel said, I did deal with it, but it stays with me to this day. Julia, I didn't go through what you went through, but I went through my own stuff, and I understand. It changes you. It really does. It's like anything like that. It's very traumatic, and it changes you. And again, I went through racial riots, so I understand what it's like. Did you read the UN is investigating poverty in Alabama, Arkansas, third world stuff going on? Well, hidden, if that's true, nobody's going to care that they're doing that. I don't know who's letting them in, but the president certainly isn't going to care. No military school here, just a tough neighborhood. Just hated to see kids get picked on, Dawn said. I think what happens, Lisa, what should happen more often in school, and unfortunately we can't do it because a lot of people work, but I think one or the other parent should be going to that school on a weekly basis. Just drop in uninvited, unannounced, and protect their children, watch and see what's happening. Now, the schools may not necessarily want you there. If that's the case, then take your kid out of that school. Take your kid out, homeschool them, put them in another school. We had an 11-year-old bullied, was found, hung himself. He's alive, but disabled now, never the same. And too much hurt. That's a horrible, horrible thing. Yeah, those tapes will play forever in the bullied child's mind. It's absolutely true. And I'll tell you, a lot of young girls, preteen and teenage girls, are getting bullied in schools because they're being told that they're fat. And so you have girls that are becoming anorexic, girls who are bulimic, girls who are trying to kill themselves because somebody called them fat, or a lot of people called them fat. I call that bullying too. I know. Hopefully the school administrators and teachers will step up their awareness, Julia. I hope so too. And again, I hope the parents start coming into the schools. They have a right to be there. I know a lot of parents don't show up for parent-teacher conferences. It's true. It's true, and it's sad. I mean, you can't just turn your kids over to somebody else and expect that they're going to be okay. You should be able to expect that, I suppose, in a perfect world, but we don't live in a perfect world. And it's hard to watch every single kid. It really is. There's so much that goes on. I'm saying this from having worked in a school as a therapist. When kids are allowed to defend themselves, they usually handle things fine. Debbie, yes, on most occasions, it depends upon, though, how severe the bullying is. Parents got to work, especially in so many single-parent homes. That's right, Shauna. It's right. But you know what you can also do? Does it not seem kids seem to have more issues nowadays? They do, Dawn. And I think it is our time. Little dude Keaton got a squad now. Yep. And see, what's going to happen is Keaton's got a squad of people around him that will probably go to school with him. And then all the other kids will see how cool Keaton really is. So that's going to be their consequence for doing what they did. Because they're not going to be one of the cool kids, right? My daughter's a child family social worker in schools, Rhonda said. Nice. Parents need to talk with their kids instead of giving them a tablet to shut them up. Amen, Brandon. Or putting them in front of video games. Hard talk and intimidation usually works. Bullies are more scared more often than not, Carmen said. Yeah, the thing of it is, though, Carmen, it is a different type of world. Kids today sometimes, kill other kids, as we know, going in with kids that have gone into schools and tried to handle things by killing other kids for whatever reason. You have to be careful. It's not the same type of world. He's got a sister on Twitter that is thanking people for bringing a smile to his face. That's great. That's true. Guns weren't around when I was a kid. I know. Well, we had guns, Robin, but kids didn't think about taking guns to school and killing other kids. I wonder how many family dinners are happening in families today. I'd say about 0 to none, Patrick. They are more extreme today, absolutely. In California, a lot of the kids, I don't know about across the nation, but they're involved in after-school athletics. And so a lot of kids don't even come home until 9 o'clock at night. So I think it's way too much for me, in my opinion, but not for other parents. School choice would help kids trying to move to other schools. Blaze heading into this school tomorrow to talk to the kids. True, if you bow up, you do have to prepare to follow through. Has anyone here seen Wonder Boy? Every parent is not ideal. Some homes are worse than the school where they are bullied. That's true, Dixie. I know many times I had to call CPS to get help for the kids. So yeah, I mean that a lot of you have to kind of look at all the situation. You can't just look at the person being bullied. You have to go look also at what's causing the bullying, and that requires looking at that person, their family life, seeing what's happening with them. There's a lot of reasons. I used to have a kid that her mom went away like every couple of weeks. Just leave her, with somebody else. Going to make more people recluse and not know how to socialize. Yep. Carmen says she was bullied since kindergarten, but I never stood for it, and my family had my back. Yeah. In our schools, we were expected just to handle it. We didn't. A lot of times, we didn't even tell our parents. The school expected us to handle it. I'm not saying or suggesting that's what you should do today, but I'm saying that's what it was when I was growing up. A lot of parents are afraid to discipline their kids. They also don't have a lot of time. A lot of parents, I've found out from personal experience, they're spending about maybe 15 minutes in the car talking to their child each day, and they feel that is enough. Too many don't parent, just want to be besties. Yeah. And Marlene, I think a lot of them weren't raised that way by their own parents. So what they know from their own parents is how to be best friends and not to be parent. Bullies are in privileged upper class two-parent homes as well. Oh, bullies are in any class, any size, shape, color, gender, whatever. Yes. But there are different reasons that people bully. And typically, there's something going on within themselves. It's true some bullies have poor upbringing. Mine were all in two-parent affluent homes. Yep. Carried my gun to school every day in my truck 45 years ago. Never took it out. And a lot of times that we think about affluent kids who are bullying, and we think, oh, why are they bullying? Because they're so happy. Look, they're rich. Not always. We see that's another thing. You can't judge somebody just because they have a lot of money and thinking that they're rich. So, we again, it's a case by case basis on what's going on in that person's life. I'm besties with my mom now, but she was mother and teacher. Yes, you can be a best friend to your mom when you're, 20 years old, 21, whatever. And when you're out of the house and on your own, then you can be best friend with your mom. Thank you there, Pat. So you remember the kids who claimed affluenza? No. No, I don't. I don't know which case you're talking about. Oh, yes, I do. I know what you're saying. Yes, I was thinking actually flu for a moment there. Adults can be bullied too. Absolutely, especially in the workplace. Hidden Jim, bullies are also on social media as well. Adult bullies. Texas boy there. There you go, Wayne. That's why you did what you did. You know how to properly use a gun in Texas. That's why you didn't take it out and use it when you shouldn't. There's a story, let me tell you in the time we have left, on Evan McMullen. McMullen recently founded a nonprofit organization called Stand Up Republic. He's jumped into the Alabama race, and he spent $500,000 to go against Republican Senate Roy Moore. I'll talk a little bit more about him tomorrow. I told so many people for so long, do not trust him. Hey, Monique went over to Facebook. And McMullen is absolutely anti-Roy Moore, and I would say he's been anti-Trump, and he's probably anti-Republican. Taking money from billionaires as well is the rumor. Yeah, supposedly, Julia, like I said, he worked for the UN, so I never trusted him once I found that out. Evan McMullen, he ran for third party, to be president. Isn't voting tomorrow in Alabama? Yes, it is. And depending on who you believe either Roy Moore is up or down, 10 points. Never crossed my mind to get in a fight, Wayne said. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't believe the polls. I believe that they would do anything that they did the last time with President Trump and try to tell you, Egg McMullen, to try to tell you that Roy Moore is not ahead. My mom was principal in interschool. Often poorly performing kids come, yeah. Yeah, a lot of kids have a lot of hard life, and And, it happens. They get into fights because they're acting out because of what they have to go through. So that's why they need therapy. Yeah, I know, Jerry. I think it's fake news too, so don't believe it. Time went very fast today. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for supporting the show. If you would, please retweet all of this, share it with everybody, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks so much. All right. Take care. God bless. God bless everybody on YouTube. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow.